Hola estudiantes, I'm going to talk to you today about the differences between direct object pronouns and indirect object pronouns. You know, in Chapter 7, we learned about direct object pronouns. They took an action verb and they answered the questions, what or whom? So what received the action or whom received the action? As you know, the direct object pronouns are me, te, lola, nos, los, las. And those are what we use to replace the actual direct object. As you remember, we looked at this slide last chapter. I hit the ball. What did I hit? I hit the ball. That is your direct object. She eats the taco. What does she eat? She eats the taco. Answers the question, what? He invites Sarah. Whom does he invite? He invites Sarah. So these are all examples of direct objects. Indirect objects answer a different question. They answer for whom or to whom. So in this sentence we have I buy a book for you. We already know that a book is your direct object. What did I buy? A book. Now the indirect object answers for whom did you buy the book? For you. So you is your indirect object. If we look at this dialogue here, you can see that they have the indirect objects in bold. One thing we didn't tell you when we were working with gustar is that the me, te, le, nos, les that we used with gustar were actually indirect object pronouns. Remember, we always said, is it pleasing to you? They are pleasing to him. So we just didn't call it that, but that's what they were. So le gustan los juegos de mesa. Were the table games pleasing to him? Yo creo que sí, y sé que a sus padres les gusta jugarlos. So to his parents, it was pleasing to play. So here is your indirect object. To whom was it pleasing? To les. We don't have the whole context here, but that's his padres, to sus padres. Rosa. Entonces, le puedes comprar un juego. For whom can you buy the game? For le, which is her niece, because it tells us here we're talking about the niece. Sí, se lo voy a comprar. Gracias por tu ayuda. We'll talk about these double object pronouns in the next class, so don't worry about them today. Te molesta. This functions like gustar. Is it bothersome to whom? To you. If I go to the store with you? Not at all. Let's go. So just to review what we've already gone over, the indirect object is usually a person. That's a good clue, and it answers the question to whom or for whom something was done. Él siempre le dice la verdad a su novia. To whom did he tell the truth? A su novia. Indirect object. And you have to balance it with the pronoun there. Le compro un regalo a mi amigo. For whom did I buy the present? For my friend. Now you'll see in this second rule here, whenever you have the indirect object in the sentence, you have to balance it with the pronoun, which is unusual because usually a pronoun takes the place of a noun. But when working with the indirect objects, you have to be repetitive and have the indirect object pronoun plus leave the indirect object in the sentence. These are your indirect object pronouns. So they are just exactly like the direct, except for the third person singular and plural. Me, te, le, nos, les. As a reminder, these are the exact ones that we've always used with gustar. We just didn't know that they were called indirect objects. The position is just like the direct object. You can put it right before the verb, or you can attach it to an infinitive. So just to reiterate that one important rule, even when the indirect object is stated, it also has to include the object pronoun, even though that's repetitive. Le doy el regalo a Juan. Here, Juan is your indirect object. To whom do you give the present? And it's balanced with le and Juan are both referring to the indirect object. Here's the actual object Juan and the indirect object pronoun le. So le has to match Juan. Meanwhile, in the sentence you also have a direct object, el regalo, and we can talk about that later. This is a good list of verbs that typically take an indirect object. Remember, we had another list that typically took the direct object. So contar means to tell a story. So to whom do I tell a story? To whom do I give something? To whom do I tell something? To whom do I return something? To whom do I show something? To whom do I ask? To whom do I ask? To whom do I loan? Like, I loan to him a book. And whom do I serve? To whom do I serve the food? Okay, moving on to number 6 here. Remember I had talked about gustar. We've always used the indirect object. It's conjugated according to what it is that is pleasing to them. That's the subject. To him, the cars are pleasing. Now, this is an excellent list of verbs that function like gustar. So keep that in mind. They function like gustar. Aburrir. The movies are boring to me. Me aburren las películas. So just like gustar, we are only going to use the third person, singular or plural. See if I can write that out. Just like gustar, we only use, in this class anyway, gusta or gustan. So these function the same way. So make a note. That's plural. All of these will only be used third person singular or plural if you're using them in this way. So aburre, aburren, calle, caen, encanta, encantan, fascina, fascinan, importa, importan, interesa, interesan, molesta, molestan. Of course, we can also use these in other tenses, not just the present. We can also use these in the imperfect, so keep an eye out for that, or the preterite. Me encanta su nueva muñeca. The new doll is pleasing to whom? To me. Singular, singular. Te interesa aprender a tejer. Is learning to knit pleasing to you? This is your subject.